Hello YouTube, and welcome to my Guild Wars 2 Secretly Meta series. And this is the part 2 video, and I will be showing the Mesmer, which is a fun class for me to play because Mesmers are very control oriented and they're all over the place, which I absolutely love. And so first off, you guys should know that this is a condition and stealth build. I ran a build similar to this before the update where they changed all the traits, but other than that, basically when Chronomancer came out, I just swapped around a few traits and it was alright again. So as always, I will start with the trait lines, which is Illusions, Chaos, and Chronomancer. For Illusions, you got Shatter skills and Flip Confusion on hit, and Confusion is the main condi for this build, so whenever you use any of these, it's gonna inflict confusion. And confusion is a great condition because it's just gonna deal damage over time, but if they're attacking you, then they're gonna take extra damage, and so basically they're killing themselves. This is like the conditioned version of retaliation. Right here you got torch skills, remove condis, and they recharge faster while you're in stealth. So I'm running staff and then scepter torch. So you got your torch skills here that they're gonna remove condi. I also use mantra resolve to remove condi, and your torch skills recharge faster while in stealth. So you got a stealth right here, you got a stealth here, and you have a stealth here. And so the stealths will help recharge these skills. You like this one definitely because it grants fury, so you're going to get that added crit chance, and I have quite a few things that trigger on criticals that I will be showing you as this video goes on. So right here, reduce recharge on all illusion summoning skills, so anything that summons illusions, this one, and this one, anything that summons your illusions, reduced recharge. Right here, Shatter skills inflict torment. Torment is a really nice condition. It came out a while ago. Basically, it does damage over time, and if they're moving, they're going to take twice as much of that damage. So, and who isn't moving when they're fighting someone in PvP? So this build stacks quite a bit of torment. I won't say a little bit, but it does stack quite a bit. With this skill here, it does 5. If you block, all your shatter skills will inflict a stack of torment. And I've got a few other things with this build that'll stack torment, so you can get quite a few stacks of it on them. But as I said earlier, confusion is the main condition. But for main conditions for this build, other than confusion, we got a little bit of burning and torment, lots of blind and stuff as well. Here it says confusion, inflict last longer, and reduce recharge on shatter skills. So gotta have this because these 4 skills are bread and butter of Mesmers. It's just what every Mesmer uses. Whether they're an illusion shatter build or not, people will use these. And so having reduced recharge on it obviously gives you more damage, more condition, application, etc. And right here we have malicious sorcery. So attack faster with scepter, reduce recharge on scepter skills, because your scepter is your main condi application. So especially this skill right here does a lot of main damage first of all, and then gives you a huge confusion onto the opponents. So lots and lots of condi application and lots of torment stacking with your auto attack. So gotta have that increased attack speed. Then chaos. Here it says you gain regen when your health is below 75%. So, added survivability. And here he says whenever you use a manipulation, you gain mirror effect, which basically reflects projectiles. So if you're being shot by like a longbow ranger, then all of their shots are going to go back to them and inflict damage. Reduces recharge by 20%. So your manipulation skills is your blink, which is a teleport, and your mass invisibility elite skill. So here, gain protection whenever you gain regen. So you hit 75% health, bam, you get regen and protection. Here, gain condition damage based on toughness. Because we're running Rabid build and our toughness is absolutely massive, now so will our condition damage. So, yep, that's all there is to this one. On ongoing boon and condition duration increase for every boon on me. So boons will last 3% longer, and condies that I apply will increase the durations 3% longer. So the more boons I have, the longer duration everything is going to be. Same goes for conditions on them. So very nice trait to have. Just kind of helps with that duration. And right here is the big one for stealthing, because it increases stealth duration by 50% whenever you use a stealth skill, and you're gaining random boons every second while you're in stealth. And as you can see, all the boons last for roughly 3 seconds, except for Might, which lasts 5. So basically, the stealths last for a really long time. So it's 4.5 seconds, and 4.5 seconds, and then 7.5 seconds. And you're constantly gaining boons for each one. So this skill is the one that really makes this build very overpowered. And then use Chronomancer, because every single elite specialization for all the classes is overpowered in some way and should be used no matter what build you're running. So right here, this one just gives you access to your F5 skill, which is your continuum split, which is the new Shatter skill that basically allows you to copy yourself, and basically you can use it and use all your skills and then go back in time, back to when you used your F5 Shatter, and then all your skills are back to the way they were when you hit F5. So I could go F5, use mass invisibility, and then hit F5 again to go back to that location, and then my mass invisibility will be recharged. So really, really good skill, but you gotta time it, of course, because people can destroy your continuum split, your time rift, and force you back to that location, which they're gonna be ready for you when you come back, and you're gonna take a lot of damage. So it's like you gotta make sure you place it in a really good location, and it's a double-edged sword, so you have to be really careful not to use it when you're low health, because if you use it when you're low on health and you use a heal skill and then you go back to that location, your health is going to go back down to what it was when you used it, and you'll have to use the heal skill again, and you basically have just wasted time. So it just takes practice to know when to use it and when not to use it. So right here is when you activate a Shatter skill, it gives all your illusions super speed. I've had a problem in the past with Mesmers with Shatter builds, because when I would use a Shatter, the illusions could never catch up to people who are very evasive and fast. So thieves, the daredevils especially, because they're all over the place with the staff skills, my illusions could not catch up to them in order to deal that Shatter damage. So I use this, so their movement speed is doubled, and I've hit them every time. So I had to have this in order to guarantee that my illusions actually hit them when I told them to go and Shatter. And this one, you just gain alacrity for each illusion when you Shatter. So you gain 3/4 of a second, which basically is just going to help reduce your recharge of all your skills. That's all alacrity does. It's just a nice bonus that enemies can't steal, like with boon steal, because it's just an added bonus. And it's really nice to have when you are using your Shatters to just help reduce recharge, even if it's only a little bit. And with this one, it says shattering at least 2 illusions generates a clone. So anything that's summoning your illusions will, when you shatter them, will generate a clone. Like this one says clone, and this one says phantasm. So whenever you're shattering illusions, it generates a clone. So any skill that you use when you're generating illusions generates a clone. And so right here is your last minor trait, which just makes you move 25% faster and reduces all the condies that will impair your movement by 25%. So very helpful, because this build does not have swiftness of any kind. So the only swiftness you can possibly gain is from your Chaos Storm here. If you're standing in it, there's a chance that you can get swiftness, but you're not going to use Chaos Storm at the beginning of a match to give you swiftness. So this is basically just really, really helpful for getting around the map faster. And here is your phantasms are resummoned after the first time they're shattered. So this one gives you the double shatter for phantasms. So I summon a fair amount of phantasms. I mean, this one's a phantasm right here. That one's a clone. But this one's a phantasm here as well. So if I shatter those, then they come back. And then they are briefly dazed for a second and a half, but then you can just shatter them again for a second time. And whenever you shatter, you're gaining those condies and the alacrity, and so on. So that's basically all there is for the traits. For Amulet, as I said earlier, it's Rabid, so lots and lots of condi damage, toughness, precision for the crit. And here I'm using Rune of Undead, so toughness is converted to condi damage, so even more condi damage from this. And I use Sigil of Bursting and Torment on both, so whenever I critical, there's a 50% chance that I apply AoE Torment, so good for group fights more than anything else, but always applicable for 1 versus 1 fights, and Torment is always a really nice condi to be putting on people. And Bursting just gives you a 6% added condition damage, so even more condi damage. And so that's basically the build. Basically how you use it is you can enter the fight however you want, but there's certain combos that you should be looking to pull off using this build. Try to use Ether Feast when you have 3 illusions out. Use Mantra of Resolve at the beginning of the match so that you don't have to do that long charge for it, the channeling I mean, and you can use it twice to remove 2 condis from you and nearby allies each time. But try to use that sparingly, because, I mean, only use it to get rid of it when you got a lot of poison on you from Reapers, or a lot of burning from Guardians, or just something. Just be smart when using this. Decoy and Blink are your break stuns. Use Decoy when you gotta get away from melee range, or when you gotta break a stun. Here you gotta Blink. Use this in Foe Fire to cross the graveyard, literally like immediately, and use it to get to high ground. Also use it when you're fighting Dragon Hunters, and for Rangers that are power survival Rangers using Longbow. The mirror will reflect their Longbow skills back at them. Same goes for Mass Invisibility. Since Mass Invisibility has a really long cooldown, what I like to do is use my F5 skill before using Mass Invisibility, and then once Mass Invisibility goes off, I hit F5 again to go back to the Time Rift, and Mass Invisibility is recharged. So, just in case 7.5 seconds isn't long enough, or if I think that I might need Mass Invisibility or another skill again, that's when I use Continuum Split. I rarely use Continuum Split in a large team fight because it's too risky, because the Time Rift's health is really low. It only takes like 2 auto attack hits in order to destroy it, and when people see it, they're gonna destroy it. So in massive team fights, I don't recommend it unless you just put it in a really strange spot, like on Foe Fire. You just stick it in a corner somewhere real fast. Just when you use it, try to use it as fast as possible. For Scepter, this is your main condi application. This is for blocking, so if they're in melee range, definitely use this. Use these for Torment application, for middle ranged fighting as well. Helps you summon clones for the double shatters. Then you got your survivability, of course, on the Torch. Only use your stealth when you absolutely have to. Get out your Phantasmal Mage as fast as possible because of that burn damage and the Fury application to get your critical hit chance up. For Staff, you want to combo field your Chaos Storm. So basically you throw out your Chaos Storm and you use your Phase Retreat, which is you basically teleport away from where you were originally standing, and it's a combo finisher Leap, so it's going to give you Chaos Armor when you combo field off of this Ethereal combo field. Then you use Chaos Armor to continually stack it. This will give you 5 seconds of it, so you'll gain quite a bit of Chaos Armor from combo fielding. And then you summon your Phantasmal Warlock, which is just going to help inflict more damage. And And then you just got your auto attack here that's a Might and Fury stack, along with some other condies. And that's basically all there is to it, except for when you go for stomps, try and save your F4 for that. You're only going to gain distortion for a few seconds, so basically when you're going for a stomp, wait for until you're just about to finish them, and then hit your F4, because that's when people are timing their interrupts to hit you with. You can also use diversion if it's like a warrior and they have to do that wind up where they put their hand back before they throw the hammer, so you can just basically save your distortion and just interrupt them instead. And then you got your Cry of Frustration and Mind Rack. I would use Cry of Frustration more than I use Mind Rack, but since Mind Rack has a lower cooldown, I tend to resort to Mind Rack a lot. But Cry of Frustration applies more Condi, and since this is a Condi build more than it is anything else, Cry of Frustration is your main Shatter. Just be sure that you're using all your Shatters, because you do have the double Shatters from your Chronomancer trait line, so just make sure that you're making the best of it and shattering a lot. It'll help you stack the confusion. And that's basically it. Just make sure you're staying out of melee range and playing it smart. This is a slower kill build because it's Condi based, so you just gotta make sure that you're playing the where am I game really well with opponents, and shattering when needed, and when you're getting overwhelmed, just stealth out, summon some more clones, and continue the fight. That's all there is to this build. Just be sure to know when to run away. And so yeah, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and comment below with questions, comments, and concerns. And I will be posting future videos on the other builds that I use on other classes for ranked PvP. And that's basically it. I'll also be putting videos out of combat for all the classes or whatever people want to see. Alright, so thank you, and have a good day.